Well, good morning, Story Trading VIPs. I am working from home today. I got full-blown flu. My body hurts from head to toe. It's crazy. So I'm going to grind through this show because I'm here to give you guys good trading ideas for the day, and then I might just call it a day after that. So yesterday, right, SPY QQQ just completely blew up. We went into this event with some hedge because Jerome Powell was speaking, and, how it's always been in the past. Jerome Powell pivoted. He clearly pivoted with his language, especially in terms of his perspective on overshooting. In prior talks, he was like, "Yeah, I'd rather overshoot and fix it later." And this time, he was very clear. He doesn't want to overshoot. He's going to be very careful. That led to this huge rally. We saw it early, right? That's one of the things. When you have a thesis going into something, you can't be dogmatic about it. If you're proven wrong, you take it off the table. So yesterday morning, really very early into this rally, I closed all of my hedge out, and that saved a ton of money by closing that hedge out early. So in any case, now let's look at the levels. This morning, also PCE data came out 8:30 this morning, and that was better than expected. So that's causing the rally to be extended here, up 0.25%. And also another thing to look at, TLT is up, which is a sign that the market's expecting overall lower interest rates, which you can validate with a UUP being down. So all of these are indicating a continuation of the rally. So let's see where it can go. So if you look at this, everyone's talking about the 200 DMA on the SPY being broken. That doesn't give you the all clear necessarily. Look at this. If you go to that 1 year chart, if you go to the daily, you'll see over here that the SPY faked us out here in March, went over the 200 DMA and it faked us out. Okay, so actually a better thing to do is look at the weekly. Once you break that 200 DMA, you look at the weekly, and you can see here there's resistance at the 50-week moving average, 413. That's your next resistance level. So technically, I'm looking at this, and also I'm looking at December 13th CPI data, December 14th FOMC meeting. Okay, so between this technical resistance and those two events coming up, that's I may be taking a hedge either at that technical level or right before those events. Now, if it does break over that 50-week moving average, wow, it actually looks pretty good technically. All right, it does look like sky blue above that. You can see QQQ here. NASDAQ 308 at the 200 DMA. It broke this resistance, the top of this candle. So about 305 is your resistance level there. And if you look at it, that's below where it is on the weekly. So 305 is your next resistance level for the QQQ. Now, to temper, kind of to balance things out, let's look at CRM. Actually, before we look at CRM, Apple, because we talked about Apple being below all the key moving averages and looked like it was going to retest at 135. But after yesterday, things changed. You got to adjust. Right now, things are a little bit more bullish. And with Apple above it, I see, the concern of the market going down in the very near term is taken off the table until either the next resistance level or the CPI FOMC. I do want to mention, though, to kind of balance things out, is Salesforce down 7%, 7.5%. Their guidance was light. And if you go read the commentary, they had a lot of rough commentary on the recession fears and less spending. And, I put it in the chat room. There's several phrases from there you can go look at in the VIP chat room. So there is still some concern. This could be temporary, right? This rally, there's a few people out there forecasting like a move to like all-time highs again before like a major crash. So something like that, maybe it potentially is still in the cards, but we're going to play it day by day, week by week, and adjust to the data that comes out. So right now, all my hedges off, and I'm going to be riding this little bull wave we have going on. Also keeping an eye on Credit Suisse, which keeps going down. That's something to keep an eye on. Again, a la Lehman. What happened with Lehman, we can, if Credit Suisse blows up, you can see contagion. So you got to keep your eye on potential negative things as we enjoy the ride to the upside. Now, getting to specific stocks, man, did we ever call the bottom on Tesla? Oh my gosh. We're creating a video on my commentary on Tesla. That was crazy. How did we do it? We did it based on a story trading method, multiple pillars, the 200-week moving average, which is very significant. It was nearing that. And then you had the huge sentiment change with the, I think it was Citigroup analysts. It was actually two different analysts that were talking about change of their sentiment on it. And also the fundamentals. with a trailing PE of 60 for a growth stock like this is not that high. So between the fundamentals, the sentiment, the technicals, and the catalyst, man, that was a crazy call, because I've been like, for years, I'm like, I don't want to hear about Tesla. It's overvalued. Let's not talk about it. And then boom, the day before this took off, we called the bottom. That was unbelievable. So I still like this. It's going to move with the market here. Who are your targets? I don't know, man. Let's see. 215, 215 maybe in play. 215, 210 to 215 maybe in play at that 50-day moving average. 50, is that a 50-day or 50-week? All right, that's the 50-day moving average. Okay, let's see what else we got. TSM in the news, a lot of news this morning. I got to say, Tony from our community nailed this about the importance of TSM to Apple. News out this morning that Apple is kind of pressured. Here it is. Apple supplier succumbs to pressure, reportedly agreeing to make more advanced chips at the U.S. plant. So they're expanding their plans for this Arizona plant, I think that's due to go online in 2024. And it's all over the news. And I don't know exactly what this means for the company, but between Warren Buffett investing and just the fact that obviously TSM is so important, right? Putting all the clues together, this makes me feel really good about the future for TSM's fundamentals. So now we look at the technicals, knowing that those fundamentals are good, and we have the catalyst of this news this morning. I've been saying for a while since Buffett got in that your target is the 200 DMA there. It was 88, now it's dropping 86.92. That's still the target, and at this point, I think it might be going straight there over the next few days, barring market crash or something. So 86.70-ish is 86.92. That's my target for TSM. MBLY got an upgrade this morning, $42 price target from New Street Research. So these tech stocks, I think, are going to do good in this particular bear market rally. Let's just call it a rally now, right? This rally, we don't know if it's a bear market rally or who knows what it's going to be in retrospect. But in this rally, I think tech stocks are going to do pretty well. MBLY, actually, the last 5 days, some chop. So I'm thinking maybe it could break out and make up some ground and do well here. So that's on my radar. DIX, I got into a position like near the close yesterday. This is highly shorted. And yesterday, there was definitely short covering squeezes going on everywhere. 22% short. So I'm thinking that this could get caught up in this whole short covering squeeze rally that's going on, particularly because the fundamentals are really good with DIX. They had blowout earnings. So you had great fundamentals. You're in short squeeze rally season, short squeeze season. So and it didn't really participate in the rally yesterday. So that's why I took a bet on DIX yesterday, hoping we break that 120 again, make a move towards 130. GOEV, I'm looking for 150 at this point. This has just been on a tear ever since the insider buy. There was some news this morning about a prototype being delivered to the U.S. Army. And you can see here above the 20 DMA, that's your target there, 148-ish. Rounded up to 150, 149. That's the target in GOEV. I feel pretty good about that. Relatively low RSI. You saw that at 52. CANO still swinging this, looking for a move to the 20 DMA. Still feeling good about that. That's about 230. I think there's a chance that both CANO and GOEV can meet those targets today. We'll see, 230 and 150. Talk, still monitoring this. I got out of all my trading position. I still have some IRA shares. This one, I think you can buy dips at the right prices. If it dives down, take a little bite into this, because this is by M&A rumors for $1.50 buyout on Talk. And I think based on the recent earnings release, if you look through it, actually they're doing pretty well now, and they're forecasting to be able to get to profitability without an additional cash raise. So I think it's at least worth 150. And over the past summer, they turned down an offer which was reportedly for I forget how many dollars that was for, but I think it was in the $3 to $5 range, something like that they turned down last year. So was it last year or over the summer? I'm not sure the details on that, but they did turn down a much higher offer. And there are also some speculation and rumors that they could be involved in the Aetna, DRIO, a deal that's coming out that we're waiting for, that healthcare insurance deal. So we'll have to see about that. But pullbacks on this, to me, look like it's viable. Taboo target here, I would say it's like 3, a little over 3. This 200 DMA is coming down. But man, this was great. I already started taking some profits because we nailed this, like 240 to 245. The fundamentals here, just way too cheap. I don't think this is going to fill the gap. I showed you the data. It's in the VIP research room. Their adjusted EBITDA, their forecasted EBITDA, in 2022, what it would have been with the Yahoo deal, that 30-year deal in 2022, what it's going to be. They didn't give guidance what it is going forward, but they did say an additional $1 billion in revenue a year. I mean, this was a no-brainer to buy in that dip. So excellent work by the folks in the room as well, jumping on this when it got into the 240s, 250s area. And so I did sell some towards the end of the day yesterday, and we'll have to see how this plays out. But 240 to 250, great buy, and $3, around $3 is a target there on Tableau. XXII, we are interviewing the CEO Tuesday at 4:30, so let's see what he has to say. The market just dragged this up yesterday, right at the 20 DMA. If this market rally continues, risk assets are going to do well. They're going to, sometimes they delay, it's a delayed reaction on the risk assets. You have the higher quality names going first, and then the lower quality names going second. And the worst quality names, when you start seeing the worst quality names that have a ton of debt, that they're going to need to do offerings soon, when you start seeing them explode, that's a sign we could be at the end of the rally. So something to watch during this particular rally for signs of an end to it. At some point that'll happen. CTMX, still monitoring this one. Might back in. I think I stepped back in a little bit, looking for a move back up towards the highs here after that great news with Regeneron. And I think you can buy the dips, bullish cross right there, 2050 bullish cross. All right, now I want to get into some fun stuff here. Okay, CTLP first, 387 resistance. Next resistance from the top of this candle and the top of this candle. You can see that September 28th and October 4th right there. So that's your target in CTLP. Man, did we ever nail this like to the second almost of the breakout of the 50 DMA. So congrats on that. And again, we know the fundamentals here, right? We talked about this when this is about to break out. We're like, this is story trading. We don't only look at technicals, we look at fundamentals. We had the presentation from Mark. So we have a bias towards the upside. A technical trader wouldn't have a bias. They don't know where it's going. But that story trading, we can handicap that, and we bet that it's going to break out to the upside because as these moving averages are squeezing, right, you can get a big move in either direction. When you know the fundamentals are good, you can bet that it's going to squeeze to the upside. Okay. All right, now some exciting stuff. The agriculture stocks are doing great here. Yeah, yesterday and this morning. I thought that this would act like a hedge, but it hasn't been. It's moving with the market. So this morning, Deere got an upgrade with 505 price target. I think, was it Citigroup? Yeah, Citigroup gave it a 505 price target. And I think right after earnings, I told you guys, this is going to the mid 500s this year. So I have this in my IRA. Maybe this is a trade for today as well with that Citigroup upgrade. So take a look at Deere. Now, also in the ag sector, though, look at this. CNHI, which we covered after earnings, and we had a $15 swing target on it, kept on going because the PE is super low on this. Now, this morning, Citigroup again. Citigroup's everywhere this morning. Citigroup with a $19 price target on CNHI. So that's going up 2.5%. So you have upgrades with DE, CNHI, and then ADM did really well yesterday. Some movement this morning on some volume too. Something may be going on here. So maybe there's another upgrade. If Citi is, maybe we'll get it later. Maybe Citi's going to give us an upgrade in ADM. They seem to be hot in the agriculture sector here this morning. But take a look at this chart now. If you look at this, it's right back up at resistance. It looks like a cup and handle pattern right here. $98 is your resistance level. Also your all-time high, right? It's 98.88 actually. Visually looks like 98. So we're right over there. I've been waiting for an all-time high breakout, still holding this, and maybe that's poised to happen this week. Maybe we break out to all-time highs here, especially with a sympathy move, right? With Deere and CNHI. Also in the same sector, TWI really underperforming. Forget about that 81 cents. That's meaningless. But look at this. Over the last 5 days, we're down. Compare that to how, again, DE and the other ones are doing. CNHI over 5 days. Look at that. DE over 5 days, much better. ADM, much better. TWI has the lowest PE in this sector, 5.61. Super, super, super cheap. So maybe this is going to play catch up today. Another one to potentially look at. So I really like this ag sector today. TWI, ADM, CNHI, and DEER. All right, there's some news in FREY and SMR. These are the SPACs, de-SPACs that are years away from making money, but they have a lot of strong sentiment, a lot of strong institutional support, both of them. FREY is in the electric battery business, SMR in nuclear. They both had news. FREY had an offering. Now, this offering, I expect it to be with no warrants and priced pretty well. Announces pricing. Here it is. Let's see. It just came out. Just came out. $11.50 a share. I'm just reading it real quick. So this just came out, okay, and it looks like no warrants. So $11.50. Ooh, lower than I expected. This would be great. No warrants. If you could pick this up, here's the 200 DMA. If you can pick this up like 1075 to 1150 kind of range, surprised that it's holding up this well, 1268. But this stock has a tremendous amount of institutional support. It's a top pick at Morgan Stanley. Goldman Sachs covers it with a buy rating. So that's why I knew last night when we saw this, I was like looking at it real closely because that's a buying opportunity if it overshoots to the downside. But with an 1150 pricing, I'm a little bit surprised it's still holding up here at 1250. So if this moves down in closer to that 1150 range, I might take a position, a trading position in FREY. I already have a long-term hold on that. And then we have the other one I was talking about, SMR, a little bit of news. I don't really know the implications of it. SMR is really just going to move on sentiment. They're years and years away from making money. And you see on sentiment alone, nuclear sentiment went from like 10 to 16. Now this morning they have something about clean hydrogen production. So will that add to the sentiment? I'm not a hydrogen guy. I know like Fuel Cell and Plug and all those stocks used to have really good sentiment, high premiums. I don't know if that's going to rub over into SMR today. So I'd like to hear some commentary from folks in the room, what they think of this hydrogen production initiative that was announced with SMR today. Clearfield, we're just killing it, baby. Killing it. It's heading to 140 plus. It's just a matter of buy the pullbacks. That's all. Easy peasy. And we're interviewing the CEO Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. All right. What else do we have here? PLAB. PLAB has earnings, I think, next week. And this is also kind of underperforming like MBLY. This may have to play catch up along with a stock like MBLY. And this looks like it's begging to break out to 20. It may need good earnings next week, so we'll see. But I have a feeling the earnings are going to be great based on their last earnings. Didn't really seem to have any near-term warnings about how earnings were going to be this quarter. So that's what I'm looking for. And the semiconductor space continues to do really well. So I bought a swing position into earnings on PLAB. I did that already. DRIO out with some news this morning. 2 employers. It's nice to see that continually coming in, but this is not the sort of news that I'll want to, pile into. I already have my big position. When and if they announce the national insurance deal, based on the analysis I put in the VIP research room last week, I will be adding a huge trading position when that national insurer deal is announced, because that is actually going to be significant for the company. It's not just a matter of getting the word out. It's a matter of the timing of revenue coming in, which will be hopefully enough for them to avoid a raise. Or if it's too late, that's going to be a problem too. So it's all about timing, and that deal will be very important for the fundamentals of DRIO when it's announced. Okay. All right, that's all I got, guys. So things, I think we're in bull market mode right now until we're not, right? We got to adjust every single day. Oh, I screwed up the background today, didn't I? See, that's because I have the flu. So that looks better, right? So in any case, guys, thanks for joining. It's Thursday, and our next major event, again, Tuesday. We have 3 CEO interviews next week. XXII on Tuesday, 4:30, Clearfield, Wednesday at 4:30. The following Sunday night, we have DAIO CEO. So if you are not yet a Story Trading VIP, hop on over to StoryTrading.com, and you can grab a 7-day free trial to get all of these shows in real time. In the morning, the pre-market prep, we are absolutely killing it. So hope to see you soon in our community.